In the top stories, public access to South Friars Beach remains open and unrestricted. Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew has paid tribute to late former Surinamese President Chandrika Prasad Santokhi, and a new Environment for Everyone campaign will tackle illegal dumping and promote responsible waste disposal in the Federation. The details on these stories and more after the break.
Courts is giving you the chance to experience the Caribbean's premier music and arts event, the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. Every Courts purchase of $2,999 or more from now to April 23rd gives you a chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip for two to enjoy the music, the flair, and to create unforgettable memories for you and your guests. Don't miss this opportunity. Shop today only at Courts, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
It's something that you can't put into words. A buzz in the air. From the time you wake up, you're ready to go. The freedom, the fantasy, the fete. To know it is to live it and love it. You have to experience it. If you know, you know. Angostura White Oak Rum. New look, same vibes inside.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Major Newscast. I am Shaira Flanders. Nationally, the deadline for businesses operating at South Friars Bay passed at midnight on Tuesday, April 7th, as redevelopment plans for the area move forward. Several bars at the bay, including Shipwreck, Godfather Bar and Discovery Bar, were given time to relocate, allowing them to operate through the end of the 2025-2026 tourist season. With preparations now underway for a proposed luxury resort development, the property owners have closed the road that previously provided direct vehicular access to the beach. However, the government has moved to ensure that public access to South Friars remains available. A new access route has been established, and when ZIZ News visited the area today, there was clear evidence of work being done to facilitate entry to the beach. Visitors were also seen continuing to access the beach on foot using alternative routes leading into the area. Under the law, all beaches in St. Kitts and Nevis remain public, and access must be maintained, even where adjacent lands are privately owned. Attorney General Garth Wilkins says the occupants of the land are aware they do not own the property, and that the government believes the arrangements put in place, which include the government providing alternative locations and covering the cost of relocating, represent a fair and lawful approach.
These same bar owners signed a lease with the previous landowners in the Friars Bay area. A lease. A lease is an acknowledgement that someone owns the land and you're on their land. And that is when there was an attempt to develop the land in 2017 or 2018. So all of them had leases at that time. So I think that this is, to be fair, a very fair solution to maintain business, maintain the bar culture, which is a good culture, and also be fair to the land rights that the landowner has, as well as the public's access to the beach.
In other news, Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew, in his capacity as chairman of CARICOM, attended the funeral of former President of Suriname, Chandrika Prasad Santokhi, where he paid tribute to the late statesman's leadership and contribution to the region. Prime Minister Drew described President Santokhi as a unifying figure who played a key role in strengthening regional cooperation and advancing priorities such as youth development, climate action, and private sector growth.
He will be remembered for his innovative contributions which have made CARICOM better. And we say, rest well, dedicated son of Suriname, whose influence went through our entire region and indeed the world. Thank you very much.
The Prime Minister also extended condolences on behalf of the government and people of St. Kitts and Nevis and the wider Caribbean community to the government and people of Suriname and to President Santoki's family. He said the late leader's legacy will continue to inspire generations across the region. And in other news, the Ministry of Environment is stepping up its fight against illegal dumping with a renewed push for community action across St. Kitts and Nevis. Minister of Sustainable Development Dr. Joel Clark says the Environment for Everyone initiative is bringing together multiple agencies to clean and protect public spaces. The effort involves partners including Solid Waste Management, the Parks and Beaches Unit, STEP, the Department of Public Infrastructure, and other key stakeholders. The campaign builds on the annual Christmas cleanup, with volunteers working alongside government teams to remove waste from communities. Recent activities in the Beacon Heights area cleared large amounts of illegally dumped material, including mattresses, appliances, and plastic debris. The minister is urging residents to take greater responsibility for how they dispose of waste and to use approved facilities. She also linked the initiative to the country's broader tourism push, saying protecting green spaces is key to maintaining St. Kitts and Nevis's appeal. Officials say the success of the campaign will depend heavily on public participation and community buy-in. And after the break, St. Kitts and Nevis has opened a new High Commission in India, which is expected to strengthen diplomatic and economic relations. And the government has started preparations for Independence 43 with a focus on public participation. Stay with us.
Swipe your card, live your life. National Bank Life is nice. You can spend it when you want it, how you like, where you like. Swipe your card, live your life. National Bank Life is nice. Home or away, any time of the day. Credit or debit, right in your pocket. With National Bank card, so many benefits. Oh yeah, the choice is yours. Just come and embrace it.
Live your life your way with purchases big or small. Mango, nuts, bread, fruit and all.
You can spend it when you want it, how you like, where you like. Swipe your card, live your life. National Bank Life is nice.
At The Cable, we believe in giving back because when our community thrives, we all do. That's why, as a company, we make it our mission to touch the lives of everyone in St. Kitts. We spearheaded the renovation of JNF Hospital lobby to ensure better care for all. The Cable sponsors free Wi-Fi in every community center across St. Kitts, so no one is left behind in an increasingly connected world. We stand with communities through every moment, big or small, in culture, education, youth development, and more. Y a ti también, comunidad latina. Cuenta con nosotros. Estamos con ustedes. And when it comes to customer service, we set the standard. We're just a call, click, or visit away because you matter to us. Join the company that truly cares. The Cable, more than service. We're family. Somos familia. And we're proud to always give more where it matters.
Here are your Horse's Value Match IGA Blue Tag Specials.
Running April 2nd to April 15th.
Post family size honey bunches of oats and pebble cereals $19.99. Quaker oats regular and quick $19.99. Essential everyday chunk and shredded cheeses just $7.99. Blue Bunny ice cream $25.99. IGA or essential everyday frozen waffles $19.99. Arm & Hammer liquid detergent just $39.99.
And now our value deals. IGA Essential Everyday Mac and Cheese $2.99. IGA Essential Everyday Canned Tuna $3.49. Essential Everyday Breadcrumbs $9.99. Essential Everyday Barbecue Sauce $7.99. The Colgate Toothpaste $6.99. The Colgate Toothbrush Medium and Soft $4.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en
Value Mart.
Thank you for staying with us. In other national news, St. Kitts and Nevis has expanded its diplomatic presence with the opening of a High Commission in New Delhi, India. Senior Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Right, Dr. Denzil Douglas, attended the opening alongside India's Minister of External Affairs, Dr. S. Jaishankar. The new mission marks a significant step in deepening relations between the two countries and strengthening engagement with one of the world's fastest growing economies. Dr. Douglas described the opening as a major milestone, saying it signals a new phase in diplomatic cooperation and friendship between St. Kitts and Nevis and India. He said the High Commission will support greater collaboration in areas such as trade, investment, education, and cultural exchange. The minister also emphasized the government's focus on building strategic partnerships and creating new opportunities through expanded international engagement. And in other news, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis has begun preparations for Independence 43 with a focus on national pride, public participation, and a coordinated program of events. One of the first activities now underway is a national theme competition, inviting members of the public to help shape the message and spirit of this year's celebrations. Officials say the initiative is intended to build a sense of ownership and encourage wider participation in independence activities. The Independence Organizing Committee will lead the planning process, including public engagement, ceremonial events, and supporting communications. Chairman of the committee, Dr. Marcus Natter, provided an update during an appearance on ZIZ Radio this morning.
The independence ceremonial parade. Again, this year we'll be having that in the evening. I'm not sure if we will go back to the morning anytime soon. Prime Minister has really highlighted the fact that, again, going back to climate change, it is extremely warm these days, even in the early mornings, especially around September, which, knock on wood, is the height of the hurricane season. So you tend to have some really warm days, and he, for sure, as a medical doctor, he does not like to see persons fainting on the parade square and that kind of thing.
That's stressful to see.
And so we've moved it to the evening, and even though the evenings can be warm, it generally is a lot cooler than early in the morning or even in the middle of the day.
Dr. Natter says full details on the official theme, program, and calendar of events will be released in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, the St. Christopher Air and Seaports Authority has upgraded communication systems at the control tower of the Robert L. Bratcher International Airport to improve air traffic operations. The new voice communication control system is designed to deliver clearer and more efficient coordination between air traffic control and aircraft movements. Airport Manager Don Grant says the upgrade represents a major step for the Air Traffic Control Department and reinforces SCASPA's commitment to safe and high-standard operations. Maintenance Manager Nigel Webb says the new system will improve reliability and performance within the cultural tower. Officials say the installation forms part of ongoing efforts to modernize infrastructure and strengthen operational efficiency across the Federation's aviation facilities. And coming up in regional news, Antigua and Barbuda has announced that general elections will be held on April 30th. And World Bank forecasts slow economic growth across the Caribbean region, highlighting challenges and uncertainties facing member countries. The details right after this.
survive it. There are some things in life that are worth the extra mile. Seize the moment. Capture the experience.
Now loans, cash at the speed of life, so fast you won't believe it. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, right now, right now. If you need cash in a flash with now, no need to fuss, leave it to us. When you need cash in a flash, no need to fuss, leave it to us. Hear me now.
When life throws surprises your way, now's here to help. Whether it's for an urgent bill payment, home improvements, or unexpected health expenses, or even that last-minute holiday trip. With Now, you get cash in a flash, approved in just 24 hours.
Now loans, cash at the speed of life, so fast you won't believe it. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, right now, right now.
A loan product powered by National Bank.
At The Cable, we believe in giving back because when our community thrives, we all do. That's why, as a company, we make it our mission to touch the lives of everyone in St. Kitts. We spearheaded the renovation of JNF Hospital lobby to ensure better care for all. The Cable sponsors free Wi-Fi in every community center across St. Kitts, so no one is left behind in an increasingly connected world. We stand with communities through every moment, big or small, in culture, education, youth development, and more. Y a ti también, comunidad latina. Cuenta con nosotros. Estamos con ustedes. And when it comes to customer service, we set the standard. We're just a call, click, or visit away because you matter to us. Join the company that truly cares. The Cable, more than service. We're family. Somos familia. And we're proud to always give more where it matters.
First up in regional news, Antigua and Barbuda will head to the polls on the 30th of April 2026. The Prime Minister made the announcement on Tuesday night before a large crowd of supporters at the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party headquarters.
Our distinguished Governor General Sir Rodney Williams today issued the writ of elections, and nomination day will be on Monday the 13th of April. That's Monday the 13th of April. And you ready for the big date? Are you ready? And polling day will be on April 30th, 2026.
He framed the election as a decision on the country's future as his party seeks a fourth consecutive term in office. Brown pointed to what he described as a decade of economic transformation, including reduced debt, fiscal surpluses, and improved investor confidence. He also highlighted social measures such as the removal of personal income tax, increases in wages and pensions, and expanded support programs aimed at easing the cost of living. On infrastructure, the Prime Minister cited investments in housing, roads and water, along with growth in tourism and education. He said these initiatives reflect a government focused on delivery and national development. Brown contrasted this with what he described as a divided opposition and urged voters to prepare for the upcoming poll. In other news, the World Bank is projecting modest economic growth for Latin America and the Caribbean this year, warning that global pressures continue to weigh on the region. In its latest economic update, the bank said growth is expected to reach 2.1% in 2026, down from 2.4% last year, with a slight improvement to 2.4% projected for 2027. It attributes the slower outlook to high borrowing costs, weak global demand, and ongoing geopolitical uncertainty, which are limiting investment and job creation. Across the Caribbean, performance is mixed. Jamaica is expected to contract by 1% this year before rebounding to 3.2% in 2027, while Trinidad and Tobago is projected to grow by 0.7% this year, rising to 3.2% next year. Guyana continues to lead regional growth, with the economy projected to expand by more than 16% this year and over 23% in 2027. The report says consumer spending remains a key driver of growth, but investment is still weak as businesses hold back in an uncertain global environment. It also warns that high public debt and rising interest payments are limiting government spending on infrastructure and social development. The World Bank says the region has strong potential, including major natural resources and a relatively clean energy mix, but greater focus is needed on skills, access to finance, trade, and institutional strengthening to drive long-term growth. And coming up, a fragile ceasefire between Iran, the United States, and Israel is on the strain after new strikes were reported hours after it was announced. And North Korea has fired multiple ballistic missiles for a second straight day as tensions with South Korea escalate. We'll have the details when we come back.
In the sun or in the rain, life's a journey, joy and pain. But NCI's here day and night, always here for you, making it right. Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend, always here for you, right here till the very
At National Caribbean Insurance, you are covered and secure. We're your partner, your protector, your peace of mind. So for home, for health, for life, choose NCI because we're always here for you. Always.
Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Right here till the very end. Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Right here till the very end.
A fragile ceasefire between Iran, the United States, and Israel is already under pressure, just hours after it was announced. The two-week truce was reached at the last minute, averting a threat by U.S. President Donald Trump to launch a major bombing campaign. But within hours, new strikes were reported in Iran and parts of the Gulf, raising questions about whether the deal can hold. U.S. officials have described the agreement as fragile, with key details still unclear and different sides offering conflicting interpretations of the terms. Iran has indicated it could begin charging ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz, while Israel has signaled it will continue operations in Lebanon, where strikes were reported in Beirut. Major issues remain unresolved, including the future of Iran's nuclear program and whether sanctions will be lifted. Iran is also calling for the withdrawal of U.S. forces from the region and the release of frozen assets. On the ground, tensions remain high, with protesters in Tehran expressing anger despite the ceasefire announcement. The United States and United Nations has since sent an envoy to Iran as diplomatic efforts continue to prevent a return to full-scale conflict. Meanwhile, North Korea has fired multiple ballistic missiles in its second round of launches in 2 days as tensions with South Korea continue to rise. South Korea's military says several short-range missiles were launched from the eastern city of Wonsan, each traveling about 240 kilometers into the sea. An additional missile fired later traveled more than 700 kilometers before landing outside Japan's exclusive economic zone. Seoul says it remains on high alert and is working closely with the United States to respond to any further provocations. The U.S. Indo-Pacific Command said the launches did not pose an immediate threat to U.S. territory or its allies. The tests come amid sharply deteriorating relations with North Korea, dismissing South Korea as a hostile state and mocking efforts to restart dialogue. A senior North Korean official also issued strong rhetoric against Seoul, despite recent signals from the South Korean government that it wants to reopen talks. Pyongyang has refused to return to negotiations with South Korea and the United States since talks collapsed in 2019, and has instead moved to strengthen ties with countries including China and Russia. And up next in sports, the Louis brothers have been selected for Leeward Islands teams, marking a proud achievement and contribution to regional cricket. Stay with us.
In the sun or in the rain, life's a journey, joy and pain. But NCI's here day and night, always here for you, making it right. Always here for you. With NCI you've got a friend, always here for you, right here till the very
At National Caribbean Insurance, you are covered and secure. We're your partner, your protector, your peace of mind. So for home, for health, for life, choose NCI because we're always here for you. Always.
Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Right here till the very end. Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Right here till the very end.
First up in sports, brothers Jeremiah and Mikhail Louis have been selected to represent the Leeward Islands cricket team in the West Indies 4-day championship. The rest of the team includes its captain Justin Greaves, Curry Magore, Casey Carty, O'Shane Thomas, Daniel Dorham, Jamar Hamilton, Jewel Andrew, Kelvin Pittman, Kadeem Henry, Nathan Edward, and Rakeem Cornwall. St. Kitts and Nevis's very own Steve Liebert and Dark Brown will serve as head coach and manager of the team. In other news, Tyson Fury says he wants to face long-term rival Anthony Joshua after his heavyweight comeback against Arslan Bekmambetov on Saturday. The 37-year-old faces the Russian at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in his first outing for 16 months, having returned from his fifth retirement. While an all-British super fight against Joshua has eluded the sport for a generation, there is renewed hope the pair could finally meet in 2026. Joshua last fought in December, stopping Jake Paul in the 6th round of a sanctioned professional contest. A bout with Fury was reportedly in the works following that victory, but plans were halted after Joshua was involved in a car crash in Nigeria late last year, which claimed the lives of 2 of his close friends. And when we come back, we'll have another look at the stories that made the headlines.
Yeah, man. Another day in the books. Well, hello there. Ooh, she pretty from head to toe, and are you ready to go? Wait there. Whew. Can't afford to slip up, not even in my dreams.
Recapping the top stories, public access to South Friars Beach remains open and unrestricted. Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew has paid tribute to late former Surinamese President Chandrika Prasad Santokhi, and a new Environment for Everyone campaign will tackle illegal dumping and promote responsible waste disposal in the Federation. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Major Newscast. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been your presenter, Shaira Flanders. Have a good one.